much. Hello, everyone. It's time for the latest episode of the cheapest podcast. Excuse me.
Someone's a little rusty.
Some members of my audience say I curse too much in the podcast, so we have a pair.
Well,
that was a concern.
What the fuck do they know?
Okay, I'm gonna try to make a challenge. You have to be creative like this. So you know how Ren and Stimpy always wanted to be vulgar, crude, sexual?
We gotta go to Ren and Stimpy route.
But it was on Nickelodeon, so they could push the envelope as much as they could without piercing the skin of the cream.
Oh.
As far as possible without actually cursing.
I'm sorry, but I cannot censor myself to that extent.
Well, we're gonna try.
I will not be silenced. Shit.
Shit.
Well, anyway, how you guys doing?
Better.
Wait, did I actually let you guys introduce yourselves?
No. They know who we are.
No.
They know who it is.
Oh my goodness, this is a disaster.
Hey.
I am Maximus, the true original cheapest critic. I started this channel when I was a baby face and didn't know what I was doing, and I'm now a 20-something and I still don't know what I'm doing. I'm with
someone who's currently drawing.
You go. Why do I have to be right?
You're in my son.
You're my son.
Well, I'm Justin.
They were fighting and ideas were bouncing around in Bella's head like lights in a storm.
She grabbed my hairy business.
Oh my god. It's all over the place.
I'm so excited to see his next movie coming out this month, apparently.
That's the other Willem Dafoe one.
And Emma Stone. And
Oh,
You
she's
still
in
have
that one
not
too?
introduced yourself yet, by the way.
They know.
She's Emma
Hey.
Stone.
Emma Stone. I'm Bella.
No. Name. Give us your name, please.
Mason.
Mason Jack.
Madison.
The numbers Mason.
So we got some box office news for 2 weeks now. So last weekend we had a slew of nobodies open at the box office, as well as movies go into wide release, and it didn't go particularly well for most of them, but we'll go in order from least popular to most popular. We got Summer Camp. Nobody wanted to watch that. It looked bad. We got In a Violent Nature. Opened decently well. It didn't use AI from what I'm aware of, so good for IFC Films. Yippee! We got Babes that went into wide release. This is a pregnancy comedy. It did expand into wide release, so it counts. It's not making the top 10, but cool for that. We got Haiku, the dumpster battle. I'm interested to know the I know it's volleyball anime. That's all I know. But like, why is it called the dumpster? Are they gonna play volleyball in the dumpster brawl? They're gonna play with rats. There's gonna be like mutant rats. It's gonna be like the penguins of Madagascar.
It's Master Splinter.
He's just gonna teach the turtles instead of kung fu. What actually does Master Splinter teach them? Like, is it martial arts, kung fu? I don't know. But instead of teaching them that, it's just how to play volleyball. And then Disney released Young Woman and the Sea, which was not a wide release, but original movies, they're dumping in theaters. No one is putting any effort to market that movie, and apparently it's good. So, yeah, thanks, Disney. You're really giving original movies a chance. None of these movies are going to reach the top 10 by the end of the summer. The highest is Haiku Dumpster Battle, currently at 12th place. How low these numbers are, that's not good. Then, this weekend, we had 2 big wide releases. The first one is The Watchers, which is on Justin's wager list. And can you refresh people on why you think that movie...
Well, initially, I thought it was going to do good because, Shamalama daughter, so...
So you think
He
that
had faith
M. Night
in
Shyamalan
M. Night Shyamalan?
has
well,
enough of a pull?
Even though he is not always releasing bangers, cough, cough, The Last Airbender.
Well, that came out 14 years ago. I honestly think since The Visit, he's been consistent mostly in mediocrity with stuff like Old and A Knock at the Cabin and Glass. But at the same time, like, did you like Glass? It was really
I was
underwhelming.
remembering Glass.
But you get what I mean. I feel like he's making interesting movies, but at the same time, like it's not the same
He's
like
very
appeal that it was like like 20 years ago. And I feel like The Watchers was just based on this idea of okay, it's cool. We get to see M. Night Shyamalan's daughter.
I am gonna say when he releases stuff, it is generally kind of mid though.
It's the beast eternal.
Listen, because have you recently watched Signs?
Science is
Signs.
kind of decent. I'm going to
Signs is mid. Do you remember? if you get a chance, all you have to do is on YouTube.
You mean
look
aliens get killed by water? Sorry, spoilers. I don't give a fuck.
It's a fucking 20-year-old movie.
I failed the test. Oh my
Who
God.
cares?
Rip.
No. Look up on YouTube when you get a chance. Just the scene where Joaquin Phoenix watches the broadcast from, I think it's Brazil,
Yeah.
of the Brazilian people seeing the alien walk by.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And
The first
first of all, Brazilians speak Portuguese, okay? And he's like, move out of the way, children. Vamonos. That is Spanish, sir.
Listen.
Okay,
Americans are dumb.
there's that, but also the reveal of the alien in that footage.
Yeah.
They try to build it up to make it seem like it's so horrifying,
But
and he jumps back from the screen like, oh!
It's 2002 though.
It's so bad.
We need to rewatch
It's
some old and the old M. Night Shyamalan movies before The Village were actually cooking. Science is a good movie. It is good.
No.
It's well made. It's suspenseful.
No.
And it does have some character stuff, even though the acting is bad.
Move out of the way, children. Vamonos.
But The Watchers this weekend opened with $7 million, which is about on par with a horror movie this year, which means kind of bad. I don't know the budget for this. I'm assuming it can't be that expensive, and if it is expensive, then Warner Brothers are some dummies. But I guess we spent $170 million on Furiosa, so I guess you can't judge too much. I guess I'll watch it at some point. It still looks interesting, even though it's probably bad in the reviews. And word of mouth needs to spread. I don't know if we're gonna get a horror movie this summer that's gonna overperform. We might get our first spooky win with Beetlejuice 2, even though that's not a horror movie, but that might be people's spooky fix for a bit. Or Smile 2. I don't think Longlegs is gonna perform
2?
that big.
Wait, I thought, did that come out yet? Smile 2?
No, it's coming out in October.
Oh boy.
And that's an interesting twist with the pop star angle with the smile curse. We'll see. Then we had Bad Boys Ride or Die. And I actually put this in my top 10. Just frankly because it's the type of summer movie that I feel a lot of people can turn off their brain and just have fun. And I actually went to go see this movie in theaters. I had a lot of fun with it. It's goofy Will Smith, Martin Lawrence comedy, them having fun with gunfights, a lot of really creative action, like with drones and like dolly rigs attached to the actors. Really fun movie. It opened with the second biggest opening of the summer with $56 million. So congratulations, guys. Woo, we did it. It's currently number 4 on the summer list at $74 million as a recording. So it's already beaten Garfield, Furiosa, The Strangers Chapter 1, Tarot Cards, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, and Watchers is currently at number 10, which bumps out Sight, the Angel Studios Doctor movie. God's Children Aren't for Sale. Back to Black has been kicked off the chart, meaning that we our first eliminated movie.
Yeah.
From the wager. Madison can get a maximum of 9 movies at this point. How are you feeling about that?
Still confident about my other options.
In terms of the rest of the top 10, Garfield number 5, Furiosa number 6. What a disappointment. I'm so sad. But number 3 is The Fall Guy. I would have never predicted The Fall Guy. I did put that at number 10. I'm shocked that it's gonna outperform Furiosa. But I guess I don't know what I'm talking about. We could all lose one on that one because Furiosa was on all of our top 10s. then If is at number 2, and Madison is the only one who's gonna get a point for that because
Mhm.
I feel like that's the only it's a guarantee for the top 10 at this point. And then number 1's Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Still, how long it's gonna stay there, we'll see how our new opener opens, as well as Bad Boys. But any thoughts on the last couple weeks for movies?
Not particularly.
How you
Nothing's
feel?
really changed.
How you feel about Bad Boys' success and the Watcher's failure?
Well,
I
sucks.
kind of
Sucks for
expected
you.
both of them to fail. I did not expect Bad Boys to be as popular as it was.
So
I underestimated Will Smith.
I think a lot of white people specifically.
White people.
So apparently the demographics for it. The last Bad Boys movie opened with 30% white people as its audience. Now
I was
it's at
included
6.
in that.
Huh?
I said I was included
I
in
was
that.
included in that as well. And now it's at 16% of the audience is white people. So a lot of white folks dropped out.
I've
Damn.
never seen any Bad Boys movies.
Damn, that's really
They
lot of-
really
lot of
were
white people.
offended.
a lot of white people unsubscribed after that slap incident,
so,
huh?
It's so stupid in grand scheme of things. Okay, let's just think
There-
about this from a logistics perspective.
They're like, oh no, he slapped Chris Rock. That's my favorite black man. I'm no longer a fan of Will Smith.
But okay, he slapped a guy, which is unhinged and crazy.
Yes.
But at the time, the context was he insulted his wife and made a joke about her cancer. But
He
then only to
insulted a bunch of
realize
people.
that they've been separated for 7 years. And I think the crazy wackiness of all of this shenanigans made us kind of not care about it in the end of the day. I think that helped. Also, the fact that it's Bad Boys. It's just a fun action movie. The movie is fun.
I'm sorry. I feel so. I do feel kind of bad for Will Smith after that whole thing. Not to get off track here, but after that whole thing, it was really just, I'm defending my wife's honor, and then Jada's just like, I have never met this man before in my entire life.
With a massive grin on her face.
God, just completely denounced him.
It's sad. But I'm happy to see Will Smith back. I will be there for I Am Legend 2. Thank God they're doing the other ending where he lives, leaving him.
Well, I mean, he fucking snapped a dog's neck. So
Also,
yeah.
Actually, oh my God, I was just about to.
He also
he didn't.
kidnapped
No.
a woman.
He didn't snap the neck.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
I think he either snapped
Not when
the
they
neck
were
or
alive.
suffocated it. Point is that he killed a dog.
But I
That
have a
was his best
story.
friend.
I have a story about that too. I also watched that in English class, and this kid hadn't seen the movie before. So when we got to the dog part, like 5 minutes before the dog dies, he's like, "I swear to God, if this dog dies, I'm gonna flip this desk." And as he was killing the dog, he flips the desk, and I take a. No, that's not the worst part. I took a picture of it, and my flash went off.
But usually it's like sexual predators
That was
getting
the
caught
most-
with the
that.
flashlight.
Oh my God! Like the feet one. Oh,
Wait, there's like
you've
a
never seen the
specific
feet one? Oh my God!
We're not
Alright.
doing this right now.
Fine, I won't show you the feet one right now, but that one's bad.
The next step. So next time on Box Office Wager, we'll all have a contender that will probably make the top 10. Inside Out 2 will be opening. Justin is his pessimistic suggestion for his top 10. He doesn't like Inside Out 1. We do, but we all suggested it will be high on the list. So there we go. In terms of, we watched more of a TV show these past 2 weeks. Actually, not this past week, but it was the week before that. So we are a little bit rusty. We watched the first half of Fargo season 2. Who wants to start the discussion? I've talked too much.
I enjoyed the part where the kid goes into the meat shop to kill Ed, and
You skipped to the final episode that we watched.
No, it's not the final episode.
Yeah, no, it's episode 5.
All right, fine. Starting over. Cut, paste.
No, we're keeping this. This is why I have to start the conversation. You just and I like this one scene in one of the episodes where this cute moment happened.
We begin with.
No, we're not We're not recapping all the episodes. So we watched Fargo season 2,
Why do you
part 1.
trying to sound like the fucking narrator from SpongeBob?
Yeah.
2
does he-
hours later.
So
Cute.
we
like
watched
you.
the first episode a couple weeks back, and it was pretty intriguing. But after watching the first half of season 2, I'm going to actually hit you with a potential hot take. This might not. I don't know the Fargo community. I don't. I'm not looking into that. I think this is a better season so far than season 1.
And I'd agree with that.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, there wasn't much else to season 1 from what I remember, other than, you know, the cat and mouse game, and then like everything in that season was connected to that. Meanwhile, this
no,
one,
it wasn't, because
It kinda
Malvo
was.
was in the corner just messing with the supermarket king.
Oh yeah, there was also that plot.
That's like-
But I mean, that was like the only other plot point, wasn't it? Just him messing around with the supermarket king,
There's
and
the cat
the rest
mouse
was
chase
just
about Molly and Martin Campbell's character Lester,
yes.
and then we got Malvo messing with the supermarket king and the investigation
Malvo messing with everybody, honestly. Well,
to catch Malvo.
yeah, like that was the only
With-
other plot point. It was just whatever Lester had going on, and then Malvo.
Anyway,
With
so
this one, it's
season 2, I feel like, is much more interconnected, where there's so many layers in this like mystery. There's so much going on, but it all feels really well woven. A big spider web where all these different corners are intersecting. It's like a nice little pattern. We got an investigation about the hidden run in episode 1. We got the crime family and their struggles with Kansas City,
Yeah.
or was it Chicago City? Point
Yeah,
is,
it's Kansas City.
the
we got-
police officer's wife with the cancer.
well, I mean that's kind of really more of a side plot, and that kind of
Yeah.
Well, that's part of it.
But and then we have the couple dealing with what happened in episode 1 and with killing Kieran Culkin. I forgot spoilers for Fargo season 2.
Didn't we already say that?
I said spoilers for other things. Spoilers for the rest of this podcast. We're spoiling everything. I'm spoiling the milk.
Even though the show is 10 years old.
Oh, apparently people get upset.
I get upset.
I'm upset.
Boo hoo.
Justin, so what do you think of Fargo season 2 part 1?
So far, it's really, really good.
That was cringe.
You're cringe.
No, I am cringe,
You
but
know, you keep it up, and I'm gonna start talking like the fucking Mad Hatter.
okay. My favorite subplot as of right now is actually the crime family, because it feels the most like Fargo season 1 by balancing the comedy within the drama and the crime element, because the brothers are idiots, but at the same time you get this like conflict of like who's gonna take power, but also the Kansas City party coming over and causing chaos. I guess I forget the guy's name, but he comes in with the Kitchen Brothers.
Mike Milligan.
Well, thank you. You got that name perfectly memorized. And
I have it pulled up.
and his character is obviously like the Malvo of the season.
I honestly.
Give me a chocolate glaze and an old fashioned.
Stop. I really like. I think it's. Is it episode 3 when
Listen, it's been like 2 weeks since I watched
episode?
all these
I think it's
episodes.
episode 3 where
It
Lou.
doesn't
where
matter.
He's trying to break
Rada rada.
Go on.
Where Lou goes out of state and goes by the typewriter store,
to
and that's where he sees Mike Milligan and the Kitchen Brothers.
in
and
the
he
store.
and he addresses them as such. And he says, "I'm assuming you're Mike Milligan and the Kitchen Brothers." And then Mike Milligan is like, "Oh, you make us sound like a You make us sound like a traveling indie band. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Milligan and the Kitchen Brothers. I really enjoyed that interaction. I thought it was kind of funny.
So who's your favorite character this season? And who is your least favorite character? Because last season we had our favorite and our least favorite, and that changed throughout the season. Because episode 1, we all loved Malvo.
I like Ed.
I feel bad for Ed.
My least favorite character this season is Rye. I don't like.
He's dead.
I don't. Yeah, I mean, I don't really like how he just kind of sits there like a pile of meat.
Oh.
Oh.
You want some rye bread? We can dough it out.
No, for context, in episode 2,
spoilers. So they grind him up.
Yeah, Ed grinds him up at his butcher shop during the night after the shop is closed. And at that point, Lou also comes into the butcher shop because he sees the light on in the back, so he decides to pick up some bacon that apparently they need at his house. You know, because, you know, he couldn't...
He sees the light on.
At like 11 o'clock at night.
Even though the store is closed, and, you know, rightfully, if a store is closed, you don't just fucking knock on the door and say, hey, open so I can get some bacon, you asshole.
He knows the community, though.
Still, it's rude.
I know it's rude. Honestly,
I don't care if you're a cop or not.
That was a very suspenseful scene because, in the grand scheme of things, you're kind of rooting for Ed to get out of this because Rye's an asshole. He deserved to die, but at the same time, he's kind of innocent in this whole situation because this marriage subplot.
We don't know if he's seen the finger or not.
I don't think he did.
At the butcher shop?
I don't think
that
so.
hasn't been revealed.
Because they were trying to get the coin, but I think he hit it.
Well, no, he definitely didn't see it because he would have brought it up when he went to talk to them at the house.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
That's in episode 5. No, is it 4? A point is,
I think it's 4.
Point is that so that subplot with the couple, I think it's very interesting and also very frustrating because they have this couple. Ed essentially just wants to bunker down and simple life with everything that he wants. Peggy is starting to get the new wave of feminism. Explaining this is kind of funny. And essentially her boss tells her, you're a woman, you can do whatever you want with your money, not realizing that
I think
okay, so I'm gonna say this right now.
Don't bring it up.
She didn't notice this. She didn't pick up on this, but I have a feeling that Peggy's boss might be attracted to her.
Is that really what's going on?
I feel like it because the way that she spoke to her.
Well, I think
she was like, "Oh, you're little naughty. You're a naughty girl, aren't you?" Like saying that sort of stuff is kind of like flirtatious.
I'm not exactly sure about that. I wasn't catching romantic vibes. I think it's just like trying to be friendly with your coworker.
I don't think so. I think she's got a thing for her.
She might be a little boundary crossing with her, or not boundary crossing, but just very comfortable.
It is Minnesota though,
with the touchy.
How accepted it could be. Oh my son. And the point is that I don't think so. However, I mean,
well, I'm making the prediction now that she is coming on to her.
We'll
definitely know because it's a 2015 show.
I can't get a read on Kirsten Dunst's character because I don't know if she's a bad person or if she's just so stupid. I
think that she's the Lester of the season.
Like so stupid that she's a bad person. Or so.
I don't think. So, I think she's kind of clueless, but also just wants what she wants. She wants a little thrill in her life.
Clueless, but I don't know if she's clueless and manipulative, or just clueless and she's getting fed.
She kind of changes with the wind.
Yeah.
Like literally, in episode. I know this is episode 5. She goes to get the car because it gets fixed, and she immediately is like, oh, I can definitely get the money now to get the butcher shop because I spent all her money
by selling the car.
No, she got she gave away the money to go on this like class to improve herself. Like, I think like if
Which
you're-
was kind of
Yeah,
forced onto her by the
the
salon
boss.
owner.
But-
Yeah.
But if you're thinking about this from like, you know, a practical perspective, and I get this is the point, 'cause
Like
their
a
relationship is
Grown woman
dysfunctional.
making decisions, like, yeah, she's kind of responsible for all that's happening.
I think
Hitting the guy.
I think
Yeah.
Spending the
I think
money.
her character is more so just like things happen, and then she just gets it in her head that everything's just gonna work out fine. And if there is an opportunity,
Yeah.
if there is an opportunity that presents itself that seems like it could help her, she just jumps on it.
Yeah, she's proactively just pushing opportunities away to just kind of clear it, because there's a point in episode 4 where Patrick Wilson's Lou character comes over and pretty much knows that you guys killed this brother. The name is Gerhard. This Gerhard brother, and essentially is like, if you guys did this and covered it up, if you come to me now, then we could probably get you guys up mostly scot-free, but we need to get you out of here. And because, you know, the safety of this life, everything that they're risking for this butcher shop and this like security and this freedom, they say no. But it's really Peggy leading the charge of the decisions for both of them. And then eventually Ed discovers that, you know, he can't buy the butcher shop, and she decides to make proactive decisions on her own to try to fix the situation, not thinking about, oh, what if we need to run away? And it comes up in the next episode.
Yeah, she's very just brush it off, pretend it didn't happen. Meanwhile, Ed's doing his best to actually
Pull it
block it
together.
out of their lives.
I feel so bad for the guy. All he wanted to do was own his butcher shop.
Like I said, shit's just happening around him. Like his wife's on, or are they married?
They
I
are
think so.
married.
Right? Yeah, his wife's on birth control as they're actively. He's trying to have kids, and apparently, she didn't properly communicate that she doesn't. want
They
to.
don't communicate.
Which makes me lean more towards her being more manipulative than just stupid.
I don't. Like, the thing is, right? Like, the way that she's behaving isn't exactly like. I think she just makes sporadic decisions that, like, oh, that would be nice to do, and
Yeah, very fly by the seat of your pants.
Mhm. It's a really interesting character.
Yeah.
I find her a lot more interesting than Ed, who's just I feel bad for.
Yeah, Ed is dragged along in her narrative.
I feel like Ed is probably gonna die to service her story. I feel like that
think
makes sense.
I think she's gonna
I-
die too. I think they both have it coming.
I mean, that makes sense for Fargo, but
Yeah.
I think Ed's gonna live
okay.
because they don't typically kill off the main good characters. Like they didn't kill off.
Well, I
Well,
mean, is he a good
technically,
character?
Ed's
He
not
did
good
grind
anymore.
Up some,
Yeah,
he
he
did grind
fucking-
up a guy intentionally.
He put
He
he put
grind-
He
it
was
on.
forced to do that. He was forced to do that. He didn't have a
He
choice.
could have went to the
Look, I
police.
will defend. I will
It is-
defend Ed until the day that I die. Okay, that man was scared and murdered somebody. Imagine coming home from your job at a butcher shop and being forced to murder somebody because your wife's an idiot and hit some guy, maybe purposefully. We still have no idea
Yeah.
about that. We don't know the
So-
context of her hitting
She's
him.
So interesting.
I
Yeah.
think it was an accident.
Probably.
I think
But
it was
the-
on purpose, honestly.
The way that she just
It was dark.
runs away.
I mean,
Smooth.
I could see it going either way. Either I feel like a twist would be that she did it on purpose, but if they wanted to
Just
play it as her,
Maybe she did
accidentally
out of
doing
the
it,
Thrill.
I don't
Then-
know. Fargo doesn't really do the Shyamalan twist.
I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
So
it's
that's
only been one
the
season.
couple subplot. We have the crime family subplot. This one is very cringe in a way because we have these three brothers. Dodd.
Well, now two.
Well, yes, we did have these three brothers. Dodd is a son of a bitch. I hate his character so much.
Don't you call Floyd a bitch.
Oh, I forgot about that. He's such an unlikable character that his daughter is on the other side. She's a sleeper agent. Actually, literally.
Hot take. I
Yeah,
actually
she's gonna
kind of like.
die.
I actually like Dodd's character
Because he's so dumb, or in fact that he's such obviously like the asshole.
because he is trying so hard to be the alpha,
But he's failing at.
but
He's a
everybody's like,
parental figure.
but he's got nobody on his side
Except
except
for-
for Hansi.
And Bear's son, because he like, hey, you're macho. You're the son I never had.
Oh,
feel-
he's just manipulating that kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I feel bad for Bear.
And that kid
Bear-
doesn't even want to be in that life anymore after
yeah.
Bear's the disabled one?
No,
Bear's
middle
the
brother.
disabled one's dad.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What is the son's name? I go.
I forget.
Otto is the dad.
What do you think was the purpose in creating a romantic subplot between him
Charlie.
and the... Is that the girl's name?
No,
The
Charlie is the son.
Oh, okay.
And-
Between Charlie and the clerk at the butcher shop.
No, I think it's like he's going in there to murder someone, and he's talking to, like he's a teenager, like, and then he talks to this girl who has the same interest as him. It's like this
Yeah.
cute moment, and then he sees this hulking Jesse Plemons covered in blood. and-
I love when he was coming out the door with the editing on that, like
Yeah.
how he's viewing him. When like we know that Ed is like a fucking teddy bear compared to some of the people in this show.
I feel so bad for the guy.
God.
He has to murder
looks so-
people.
But he looks menacing to this kid, so this kid's like
Yeah, Jesse Plemons does
Damn.
look kind of, especially after watching Civil War, where
well, yeah, Civil War
That was a
and
very stressful
Breaking
scene.
Bad. This is the only role that I've seen with him being a good guy.
Well,
Which he fits.
he was in Killers of the Flower Moon as a good guy.
I did not see that.
What?
What? Killer? Oh, that I was
You
thinking of the
fuck-
wrong movie. I was thinking of a Midsummer.
But
Because
yes, he's
flowers.
in Killers of the Flower Moon as the FBI agent. I'm here to investigate about these murders.
Oh, I forgot about that. Damn, I forgot
That
about a lot of that
is a
movie.
3.5-hour movie from months ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that subplot. And then finally we got the actual investigation with Lou and how he has to go and take care of a future president for an episode.
Who is portrayed
By
by none
Robert
other
Campbell.
than Bruce Campbell.
Bruce Campbell.
Robert
Oh yeah,
Campbell.
Robert Campbell is
God.
We can cut
Not
that part
important.
out. We can cut that
Not,
part out.
not
he
important.
He plays Reagan, baby.
Yeah, and he's dumb as shit.
Of course. So what's your favorite subplot out of this season? And we talk so much about the couple. It's so fascinating to talk about, but I think the crime family is the most entertaining.
I mean, I kind of like when they intersect. Like, I liked when.
Oh, I love that. I love when
Yeah.
Mike Milligan and the Kitchen Brothers intersect with the cops,
Yeah.
and then the cops running into the couple, and this is a great season. This is better than season 1. I'm sorry. I like season 1 in the moment, but I think this is like so much more interesting how things intersect,
Yeah.
and like you know that Lou isn't gonna die, but
At least not yet.
please don't kill him later. But in the grand scheme of things, I do like how things are connecting. As long as the season doesn't flop at the end, we should be good.
Yeah, we picked a good episode to drop off on. It was a cliffhanger, which I wasn't appreciative of, but
Well,
it was a
actually-
good cliffhanger.
Actually, no, Lou can't die because he's in season 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's why I said later, because like.
You mean like if Fargo goes into
Like, after
season 1?
Like we go
Yeah.
back to Lou.
If we come back to like a present day situation?
Like Lou is like an old man sheriff, like Gran Torino.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
he retired and started running that diner, so
Yeah.
if he
They don't. They go back to the diner.
We haven't seen much crossover with season 1, other
It's
than
just Lou being back in his sheriff days.
Yeah.
So, predictions for the end of the season.
All right.
I think.
Also, well, we didn't really mention, but Dodd's daughter is like
I said sleeper agent.
Okay, so you mentioned that she's like sleeping around with Mike Milligan.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that something might end up happening there between her and Mike Milligan because he's not happy with her anymore. So if she fails to give him some info later on, he might do away with her.
I think that she's gonna die.
Yeah.
I think. Here's my prediction. I think things are going to go disastrous for this war, specifically for the Gerhardt family, because the whole leadership is a mess. Dodd is going to try to take control at some point.
They already had their...
which is going to lead to issues in terms of...
With the Kansas City Mafia.
Yeah, because they're going to try to do this war, and this fucking idiot is going to try to take control from his mom.
Yeah.
And everything that's going on with that. And poor Charlie. Kid.
I mean, they already had that fucking massacre in the woods. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a good sign when you have fighting within the group and then fighting outside of it going on at the same time.
I think that, like I said, I'm going to predict this. I think that Ed's going to die first from the couple. And then Peggy is going to have to run away on her own and face the consequences of her actions. And the fact that Ed's now gone, she's going to have to reflect on that.
I see Ed outliving her.
You already said this.
Well, yeah, but because you both think that she's going to die, or Ed's going to die first, right?
Yeah, because I feel like Peggy has more character on her bones. Ed is, like he's being, like you said, bless you, dragged along. So that's my opinion on it. But why do you think Ed's gonna live?
Because I think people like him more. So he's gonna have.
They're not writing this as the audience response. They're coming in. They write the whole season. You're saying the writers are gonna like, oh, he should live. Happy ending.
Well, that's how.
That's not how season one. Like,
it depends on how far his character development goes. Because if you want to make him like the main, because he's been doing most of the pushing, like with the murder, like he covered it up. He was in the fire, like in the.
I feel real bad for the anyway.
But she's not like in the heat of anything, at least not right now. I feel like we'll see them both in the heat of it in the second half, but right now he's taking all the fucking damage for it.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say something. I think that in terms of the police subplot, in particular, Lou, obviously we know that Betsy is not in season 1, so she is not long for the world by the time that time.
You don't.
Yeah, I think she's gonna die from the cancer.
Do you think it's a placebo, or do you think?
I think she's got the placebo.
You don't know that.
I think Hank, the actual like sheriff, and Betsy's dad, I think he's gonna die.
Also, sorry to interrupt. I think it is hilarious that he is a police officer and his name is Lou Solverson.
Blame season 1 for that.
He's investigating Lou Solverson. He's gonna solve the case.
He's a solver, son.
So it's time for the epic question, though. Do we want to continue with Fargo season 2?
Yes.
Do you even have to ask?
Well, I have to ask.
No, you don't.
For the formality of this podcast, what if there's actually like I actually hated the show the whole time.
Hey, everybody, spoiler alert, we're continuing with season 2.
I actually hated this season so far. I'm not interested in it.
Eventually, we'll get to a show because we liked all 3 shows so far.
I'm gonna do that one day. We're gonna watch like so much of a show, and then I'm gonna be like, guys, I fucking hated this entire journey.
It's hilarious that like, okay, Xavier Renegade Angel was supposed to be the option that was like a one-hitter quitter, and we ended up liking the show.
I finished season 2, and we didn't even have to do that.
What? I was gonna.
I'm pretty
It's
sure
on
I
the
watched
wheel.
season 2.
Please.
Either did we have
Well,
to watch
it's-
all of season 1?
No, we finished season 1. But the point is that season 2 will be on the wheel at some point. Fargo season 3 will be on the wheel at some point. But we are gonna finish Fargo season 2. That'll be next week.
Why, I oughta.
All right, on to the movie.
Yay! It's time for children dying.
Such a happy story.
Grave of the Fireflies.
USA.
I've-
USA.
Oh my god.
Directed by Aiso Takahata.
I've been seeing watermelons everywhere, especially at
Oh.
work, and just getting sad.
Well, you work in a fucking grocery store.
Don't tell them that. Don't let them
No,
know
they're
I
gonna
work at
hunt you down
grocery
based on
store.
our IP address.
I work at grocery store. My job is fish.
Her address is.
So,
Dox me on the podcast.
what were you guys' expectations coming into this movie?
Well, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't do any sort of research. You
I
told
was-
me it was about the war, and that was all the context I got beforehand.
So, I was expecting, a more happy ending. And
Thank God. that
and
it-
we quickly found out that, Miyazaki
it's whimsical.
happy uplifting ending, and what's the guy's name?
Takahata.
Takahata Ghibli films. Depressing, nothing but depressing. Oh, you think you're gonna get happy? Nope, here's some more sad.
The movie begins, and you already are in this shitty mood. I failed again. In this sad mood because the main character dies on screen. We see him die and his spirit leave his body to meet a spirit of his sister. So we already know this is not going to end up happy for our main characters. And it's just seeing how we get there. I feel like if that didn't happen, this movie would be even more devastating, like traumatic. Like people would be talking about how Grave of the Fireflies might be the most like sad movie of all time, and it's still depressing and really effective. As even as someone who lives in America,
Yeah, I don't think anybody's like, no matter what side of the war you're on, you're not really happy about children starving to death. So
so how we want to discuss this movie? The first thing I want to
Well-
mention is the animation. So we seeing this was released the same day as My Neighbor Totoro. I think that these two movies are a good comparison for the
This is-
animation.
They
probably
are-
for the best.
Yeah, they are they're different styles,
But
kind
I
of.
feel like they also like tackle childhood and how children come to grips with like traumatic events in their life. One is about how children use imagination to escape their worries, and the other one is about how they can't escape with anything because
And they're
the
gonna
world is cruel.
Die, and
Because
nobody
it's-
loves them.
Because it's World War II.
But I think the animation in this movie is spectacular for what it's going for.
It does look
realistic.
Really good, yeah.
I mean, Totoro just looks like really impressive even today. But I feel like for what this movie's going for with realism, it makes you shudder. It makes you gasp at certain points. I think the animation's really good. And I think that what really makes this movie one of the best movies I've ever seen is how it really grabs you emotionally in a way that's not super manipulative. It's just showing realistic characters in a situation where like it's horrible circumstances around them, and you don't really feel like it's like trying to force you to feel a certain way about it.
Yeah, it's just them. Like every corner is another dead end. Like they're just running around until they die, essentially, which is very fun, happy.
2 movies released the same day, different style stories. Both of them include the protagonist's mother in a hospital.
Like I said, 2 sides of the same coin. One uses the imagination to, escape like the traumatic event of their mother potentially dying from a sick illness. And the other one shows, it's gonna happen.
Their mother covered in maggots.
And also like
didn't
our
like
main
that part.
our main character Seta, he tries to hide this information from his little sister, who's how old is she in the grand scheme?
She's like 4, maybe.
It has to be
3, 4, 6.
I feel like that's too old.
Yeah, that's way too old. I'd say no more than 5.
But essentially, he tries to hide this information, but eventually, at a certain point, he realizes there was nothing he could have done to hide that information from her, and that childhood, like, innocence was
Well, the
sullied.
aunt tells her.
Yeah, but there's nothing he could have done about that, and he breaks down because he realizes that his little sister like has to know that his mom died. Her mom died after he tried so hard to protect her, like her spirits and her childhood.
Yeah, I feel like it would have been better if he had just done it, because you don't see the aunt telling her, but she didn't do it in a nice way.
No, like I feel that makes it so effective because he's just all this like living in this bomb shelter, living on their own, like being this provider is all to try to like keep his like sister in a way that makes her positive, keeps her spirits like make her happy. And just to figure out that the aunt told her that her mom is dead and that innocence has already been stripped away, and by the time that she's talking about this, she doesn't even like really grasp it anymore because it's just so much has happened. With the Fireflies, she just talks about like, why did they die so soon? Oh my god, it's just so effective. It just really lets you sink it in. This is a great movie.
Yeah, the aunt is such a horrible goddamn character.
Oh boy.
She is a good character, but she is a horrible person.
Corny. Okay.
All right.
What's the little sister's name?
Setsuko.
Fuck if I know. Setsuko.
Maybe it's just because I don't particularly care for children. I found her. I found her to be quite annoying.
Well, we found the
she's
children
a child.
We found the children characters in Totoro annoying too.
Yes.
Yeah, and
yes.
Ponyo, honestly.
Yeah, Ponyo herself was the. I didn't in Ponyo. I didn't mind the boy, but Ponyo herself was so annoying.
Ponyo, a very energetic child.
But for this movie, just constantly hearing Satan, I was just like, oh my god, go away.
Okay, we have to discuss this.
They could have. Oh yeah, the English dub.
This, like, whoever is responsible for the American distribution of this movie, fire someone. They should be gone because we couldn't find this movie legally in any way.
Whoa.
No, we're talking about this.
No. I'm not admitting to any crimes.
No, it was on the Internet Archive, which is a fine way to watch the movie because they didn't put it on any actual platform for me to pay for it, for me to see it on a streaming service. They had nothing, so they gained nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. I should not be looking for
not the
movie
Willy Wonka speech
and not considering torrenting it as an option Am I like, that's crazy to me. That's an actual like okay, that's an actual legitimate way to watch the movie. You just pirate it. That's stupid. Thank goodness we were able to find it in a somewhat legal fashion with the Internet Archive. But that's ridiculous. Like
Yeah, I would have thought that it would be included in the Ghibli movies on Max.
but unfortunately they don't
I
own
don't-
the rights.
Oh. Is it because it's a different director?
No, there's plenty of other movies by this director in the filmography. It's just that partially the ownership of this movie is by the people that made the short story that this film is based on, which causes it to go in some legal limbo. But I'm happy I saw it because I think that in terms of like this sort of story, you can't get more effective than this because like it can get very hokey when it comes to these wartime stories. Like
The dub
boy in
for
the striped
this-
pajamas.
The dub for this was definitely better than Castle in the Sky.
Is it though? I mean, it's about the same.
It was. I mean, I don't know if it's just because Castle in the Sky was a funner movie, so,
I mean, so
it,
the thing is,
it was
right,
okay to have more goofy dialogue in there.
The kid characters in both,
But like
are
the
issue.
the goofy dialogue in this movie did
See?
not fit this.
Sita.
God.
Don't get a 50-year-old woman to play a child. That's all I'm saying. Also, I mean, the guy who played Seta himself is fine, I guess.
Yeah.
The Castle in the Sky dub has higher highs for sure because we have the joy that is Mark Hamill and Jim Cummings and the pirate in there. Those are fun voice acting roles. In comparison, in this movie, granted, it's a lot more grounded performances, and that's another reason why. So, I mean, in terms of this movie, and ranking it in the Ghibli movies that we have watched so far, we talked about this when we were discussing everything at first. I am actually putting this at number 2 on my list of Ghibli films. And I believe Madison was like, well, you said this is one of the best movies you've ever seen. Why is it number 2? There's just one little giant obstacle in this movie's way. It's called Spirited Away. It's one of the best movies ever made from a technical and like writing perspective. And
I fell asleep during it.
yeah,
Tragic.
I apologize. Can we break so I can get water?
so I do think that Grave of the Fireflies is just it's excellent and is really effective at everything it tries to do. But Spirited Away is just an otherworldly experience in terms of imagination and the character development. I can't see any Ghibli movie beating that, but we have a lot to watch still. So maybe my mind can be changed. What do you guys think?
Just sad.
I don't know. Spirited Away was really good, so it's gonna be really, really tough to beat.
Well, it didn't beat it for me. It came somewhat close.
This one's not anywhere near from me.
I
But where
enjoyed
would you rank it
Totoro
on
more
your,
than this one.
What's our list of movies?
So we got
Do you have my list?
not on the top of my head, but
Oh,
we
okay.
got Castle in the Sky, My Neighbor Totoro, Grave of the Fireflies, Spirited Away, Ponyo, and The Boy and the Heron. So that's 6 movies of Ghibli so far.
Hmm.
I think The Boy and the Heron was probably my least, or probably Ponyo, maybe.
I think I'd probably put this somewhere around the middle, maybe.
So what would you have above it?
Well, I can't remember what my list is, so you have to
Well, okay, is
Whatever.
it better or worse than Castle in the Sky?
whatever my number 3 is. Put this at number 4.
That's not okay. That's not a good way to think about it.
Whatever,
Is
we
it-
don't have to rank them.
No, we're doing it right now.
No.
No,
Because
we're talking about
it's not fair.
Oh,
Because I have my list specifically, and I'm not gonna.
It changes. It can
Tangent.
change if you have the same opinions, then it should line up.
I don't remember everything.
No.
This is a tangent.
So, is it better or worse than Castle in the Sky?
I'm not doing this right now.
Yes, we are.
They're
I like
different
my list.
movies.
I like my list
We're
to say
ranking
the same.
the Ghibli films.
I like my list to say the same.
No, that's stupid though. Like, oh yeah, it has to say the exact same. Your opinions don't change.
My opinions have not changed. So
Then-
whatever my list, I don't
Then
remember
your
what my
opinions
list
should
is.
not, like, okay, then saying it right now.
Do you know how long it's been
change.
since we've made the list? Are you
It
okay?
doesn't-
Yeah.
So, yeah. So the next Ghibli movie that will be on the wheel is the next one chronologically, if we still want to do it chronologically,
I don't see why not.
is Kiki's Delivery Service.
Which I'm
All right.
fucking excited
Which
for.
everyone
Which
says
has creatures.
is very cute.
I was told it didn't have a lot of critters.
Is it talking cat?
Meh.
Alice in Wonderland.
Man.
Is it Alice in Wonderland
No.
vibes?
Probably not.
So, time for our wheel. Kiki's Delivery Service has been added, and we have changed our suggestions a wee bit since last time. So, in addition, Justin's last suggestion was The Dark Knight because he is a normie. And what would you like your suggestion to be this week? Would you like
Why
to
don't you
keep it
suggest
or
Pulp Fiction?
that is a pretty normie option as well.
I am
We could do
sticking
that
with
again.
the Dark Knight.
Then Madison's last suggestion was Silence of the Lambs. Would you like to keep it or change it?
I'm changing it to The Lighthouse. And I'm gonna keep it there until it's picked.
Apparently, Justin's going to keep his there until it's picked.
Yep.
I'm adding Parasite back to the equation. It was Mad Max Fury Road before. Because it should have been picked weeks ago. And I'll always keep this in the back of my mind. That I got screwed over by peer pressure.
By peer pressure.
I did. So we're going to be doing elimination style. Any hopes and dreams?
I thought for the movies we didn't do elimination,
It's a
and then
TV.
for the TV shows we did elimination.
No, we never did the TV elimination yet.
Oh.
But eventually that wheel is going to get so big because we're going to have all these shows. Right? Elimination just isn't possible. With the movies, we're going to basically keep it to 4. Maybe 5 if I feel like adding something spicy.
Ugh.
I had a conversation today with these two buffoons about watching the Ant movie
Buffoons!
as a joke, and they hated that idea, so that might be a funny thing.
Yeah, it flipped you off.
Multiple times. So, elimination style. We got our 4 movies, baby. Actually, should I do it for the memes?
Oh my god.
I might actually do it for the memes. You know how much conflict this might add to the podcast?
Middle finger.
I'm adding it.
Middle finger. Right at you.
Addison is just smiling. No, she's...
I'm just happy to be here.
So,
She hot.
we got our 5 options. Let's see. The first movie eliminated from our wheel
She
is...
blind.
It is...
Ha!
Fuck!
Okay, fuck.
we're supposed to be censored. Oh, we failed it pretty hard.
I
already.
don't care, bitch.
Okay. Bint.
Bint?
Okay, the next movie eliminated from our movie wheel. Kiki's Delivery Service.
Damn, I'm gonna get my
Blah.
pick!
It's a possibility.
50-50 chance.
It's a 25% chance right now. Okay. We're not watching the Ant Bully this week.
Thank God.
Which
Alright, so
means-
now it's only a good movie.
Which means we are watching.
Okay. We are watching. Well, the movie that's eliminated, but we'll be watching.
Oh, please.
It's glitching. We were watching Parasite.
No, I want to redo. That lagged. I want to redo.
Dude,
No, I want to redo.
Seriously?
It lagged. I want to redo.
It's not even my movie that got picked this time. You can't complain.
No, we are redoing
No,
that.
Okay,
That
no,
lagged,
no,
causing.
no.
So I won, but I'm interested to know what would have happened. This doesn't change anything unless I'm feeling real generous.
It lagged again.
Oh my god.
It was the
Would
other.
you fucking look at that? Would you look at that?
Well, I still win.
Womp.
We get to watch Parasite.
That means that
I
automatically
think
the
this is-
lighthouse is next week.
No, it doesn't mean that.
That
does not.
means
May the odds
it
ever
doesn't.
be in your favor.
because
Does not,
I got
because-
fucked out.
No.
you got really close this
Okay.
time, Madison.
Okay, because the Dark Knight got eliminated first this time. So
Nah.
no, you don't get to complain like this. You can take your opinion and you can just okay? How about that?
So, can you describe what that meme sound represents in this situation?
That is
It's how I feel right now. You assholes.
So we're watching Parasite, which I believe as of right now is still on Max. I'm gonna make sure of that before I send us. Yes, it's on Max, so I don't need to record it or anything. I think you guys are gonna be in for a treat.
I'm gonna shit my pants.
All right.
Are you meaning right now, or the fact that like this movie's so good it's gonna shit your pants?
No, whichever one happens first.
Why don't they have the original Dexter series on
All right, stop.
Letterboxd?
Stop.
That's so
Stop.
off rip.
I'm just looking at Letterboxd right now, and I'm getting.
We're not doing another
Pissed
podcast
off.
where you start going on a rant about Dexter, okay? We've already had that before.
No, I had a. There was a podcast episode where I
Yeah.
ranted about Better Call Saul.
Yes, you did.
Did that one
I-
get aired?
Yes. I
Good.
forgot what that episode was. I'm so happy. This is gonna be so good.
All right, so now we got to do shows.
No,
Or no, wait.
we're
that's
watching
right.
Fargo.
Doing Fargo.
Yeah.
So
So we're done.
Next week on the box office wager, we get to see how our pick of Inside Out 2 will fare. Then we will talk about the final episodes of Fargo season 2. We'll pick our next television show. We get to think about what TV shows we want to recommend for the wheel. And we'll have our big wheel. And finally, we'll have our movie Parasite. Madison watched it while high one day, and she fell asleep. and
That's a common theme for me.
and Justin has never seen it before. I don't think you've ever seen a Bong Joon-ho movie before. His English language movies, Parasite's not in English, is Snowpiercer with Chris Evans.
That's a train movie?
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
And Okja with, I believe that has Jake Gyllenhaal and Tilda Swinton
I have not seen that.
and Steven Yeun.
Steven Yeun.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal.
I love Steven Yeun.
So yeah,
Great actor.
Well, I'll have
Parasite.
to see that then because I like Jake Gyllenhaal.
Well, that Parasite is completely in Korean, and is very accessible. I think that you guys.
But it has subtitulados.
Of course it does.
Okay.
But it's on Max though, so the
Mhm.
subtitles might be good. Because remember the problem with what was it, Zone of Interest or
Yeah, I remember.
so
I don't have to fucking remember.
blame Max for that, not me, Max.
The white on white.
Blame HBO
no,
for that.
No, it's blame David Zaslav.
Yes, actually.
Yeah.
That's.
He probably cheaped out on the borders for the text. Too expensive to lay over. So that was our episode. It was a messy disaster, but hey, it was fun being messy with you guys.
That was sus.
What do you mean? No, it's
That was sus.
there's more. Your mind is just dirty because messy doesn't exactly mean what you're implying here. Lightning
I want
warmer.
bananas on my waffles.
All right, that's the end.
Okay.
Good night.
Goodbye, everyone.
That's all, folks.
Goodbye.